Alright guys, so this is take 2 of the shop update because there's been some things changed. So let's just start out over here. Gypsy 2.0 in progress. I've got the engine apart, case off, drilled out the restrictor in the lower case so we can get rid of that bridge line that was leaking. Also gonna have to get some new O-rings in that because it's voodoo doo-doo, and every voodoo doo-doo I've ever seen, the O-rings fucking break down and blow out. I don't know why, they're just the wrong O-ring. So I'll get O-rings in that. People have asked 100 times if this is a stock motor doing what it's doing. It is a bone stock rod, bone stock piston, stock head, stock cams, motor with valve springs and a funny clutch. That is the only thing. Okay, so Gypsy 2.0 is in progress. Got the carbon dash, Max is back in, wiring's back in. Waiting on a bolt for the lower pivot down there. Actually, I have the bolt. Nichols was looking for the nut. But this isn't even literally the same bike anymore. Gypsy 1.0 is over here. This is Ricky's new bike. So they did some wheeling and dealing and traded chassis in order for Nichols to get the arm, and Ricky gets a titled frame. This bike was dropped off today by the same gentleman who had the red Busa. I did a top end refresh. I'm doing the same to this top end refresh. It's a high mileage bike. I don't think it's actually that terribly high mileage, but it's fairly high mileage. No complaints on this one. Just going to treat it. Damn, it's Suzuki ignitions. 29,000. It's decently high mileage. Like I said, rings, valve seals, top end gaskets, check the block for round, all that good jazz. And we'll go back together on that one. Selfish is selfish. Still waiting on some funds to move forward. I think he said he's shipping me some parts, which is probably the rear wheel spacer and a few other odd parts we've discussed. Jimmy's still got a few wires to hook up. Haven't spent a lot of time on that at the moment because I've been jumping to other projects. The boss man's just chilling. Eric's bike. I have brand new OEM crank, brand new Wassner rods. Got all that decoded and measured. Bearings are on the way. So the case measures out perfect. It's going to be beautiful oil tolerances. The rods measure right at a 1, the low side of a 1, and the crank measures out at the very, very low side of a 2. So what I'm going to do is treat it as a 1-1 with a little more oil tolerance. So we're going to go all green rods, which conveniently enough is most racers' universal go-to, and then code the crank. So the coding on the bearings and the rods won't be exactly what it codes because I had it measured and verified and found out it's way on the tight side. And I don't want the rod bearings that tight on a motor with this much stress. We'll just go with a 2050 oil. It's got a little more oil cushion. Should be beautiful. So this coming week, I should start assembly on that. The MS3 bike, like I've discussed, right before the snowstorm hit, I ordered a couple fittings. They didn't come in. I knew they weren't going to. Brett's bike. His turbo kit is at Scott Davis's and done getting packaged up and sent back. So as soon as that gets here, he will jump priority number 1. So right now, priorities are MS3 was the first to pay a deposit. He's getting worked on. I just need fittings, and I can button that up. Then Eric. Eric had paid his deposit next. His motor's next. Brett falls in between because Brett had already paid a deposit before both of these, but he's on hold because his kit got sent out. And then this girl. So I've got 3 in line right now. Everyone else is on hold. Gypsy. Now that's Nichols and them working on that. I'm doing the motor stuff just because I know what I'm doing on that. I know where I'm drilling. When you're drilling a hole in someone's cases, you kind of got to know where you're drilling a hole. What I was doing is, let's see. See how that is now a straight through passage? Factory, that's got an oil restrictor in there, cast into it. Now in the Hayabusas, that restrictor is located behind the filter, so if you decide to delete your oil cooler, you have to take that out. I do have a Busa motor. Ha. It is located right there. And you have to take it out, and it opens this up. In the Gypsers, it is cast into the case, so you have to drill the case. Speaking of this one, I'm just waiting on funds for the remainder of the parts. I know the holidays just got over, so a little delay on that. But rent's due and a lot of things are coming up, and I'm hustling to get things done. Hoping by the end of the week to have Eric's. If the last parts come in before the end of the week, I will have his engine together. Maybe not in yet. The MS3 bike, I'm hoping to have dyno ready before the end of the week. Brett's, it's probably going to be a week and a half before I get a freaking turbo kit because Canadian customs suck. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then maybe I'll start on the red bike depending on if I get held on these, but probably not. He's already well aware that he is currently sitting third in line, possibly fourth, depending on if Brett's stuff comes back first. Highly doubtful. Highly doubtful I get Brett's turbo back before I get that one done. So he's currently sitting third in line, and he knows when you see the yellow bike, fire up, you're up. So anyway, that's what I got going on. This is a lot shorter shop update, which I'm happy about because the one I did earlier was 15 minutes. Y'all have a beautiful day.